Hello, today I would like to talk with you about my tomato trellis. I am using this cattle panel for my tomato trellis, and it's been working out very well for the past 5 to 6 years, since 2015. So I'm on my 6th year this year, and these are cherry tomato. These are 100 cherry tomato, and I had some varieties. Oops, these are pink tomatoes, and these are red currant, and the um, purple Cherokee tomatoes. This guy is a little bit thicker stock, but he got a little head start. All these are direct sown. I just threw the seeds down and start thinning them out. So this little guy back there is still a little late, but I find that the cattle panel has been working very well for me throughout the years, and this year I just bought these 3 more panels. Let me back up. So this year I have my grapes growing this year, the muscadine grapes. So I feel like I need some shade back here in the summer, and I just did this 16 feet tall, the two of them, and it turned out to be like $23 each. And while I'm waiting on my grapes to grow, I will also take advantage of that. I let my tomato kind of go up that way. I mean, tomato can grow very tall. This is about 7 to 8 feet tall there, because every single line there is 8 inches, and you can tell, by about that high right there, 7-ish, and then to top it off, maybe 8 feet. But this is my garden, and I'm switching my plant growing around just to make sure that the soil, the bugs are not get used to all the bugs and bacteria, and you kind of rotate the crop a little bit. But every year I would start at this out and go ahead and put the seeds down. I usually just let the seeds drop, and these are heirlooms, so they just drop down, and they would just seedling back up, and I just divide them up, or whether I want, or I would just take them out like this bunch here, like one tomato drop, and I had like 20 or 30 of them clumped up. So I thinned them out, and right now they are only about a foot tall. So it's a good time. They don't have all these little tendril or something to kind of grab onto the trellis. So every week I would go out and I just kind of like thread these through the little holes. So I like the trellis because it has this big area. This is 4 inches by 8 inches wide, and I can go in and graft them, or can do something with them. If I water them, it's still going in very easily. So it's working out very well. These are actually my 50-inch by 8 feet, so it's about 4 by 8 feet trellis that I had. There's 2 of them that I used to set them this side and this side, trying to configure so that I got enough sun, or created some shade for some other plants and whatnot. And this year I just decided I'm gonna use those to make shade for my mint area right there, because the mint doesn't really like full sun. They like some sun. They like morning sun. Some of my mints do. And so I hope that I'm giving them a good shading for the summer to come in the next month, because next month it's gonna start getting really hot. It's already start getting hot. So tomato trellis. I mean, you can use, I use this with all my vine vegetables. This is the bitter melon vines. I grow a lot of Asian, well, I do, no, all these not really Asian, but maybe half of them are Asian. I just love bitter melons, so I grow a lot of them, and they are very prolific, and I want to create this shade, so I jammed everything in there. So I don't need to thin those, but maybe I should. So the way I set up my trellis is I never want to set the trellis this way. Sorry. I never want to set the trellis this way, because if I do that, then I will shade everything else. So think of when you set your trellis, how your plant is going to receive the sun throughout the day. So my plant will continue to receive the sun that going this way and that way, and then when I come back in the afternoon, it's still going to receive sun. So it got a lot of sun in the afternoon and in the morning. Same with my grapes. So this way I think it'll be best, so everybody that loves sun will be able to get the sun. Everybody wants to climb can climb. They stay on the side here, and this guy does not climb, but it still gets a lot of sun, you know. So all the tall plant, you know, my vine that likes to climb and it likes the sun, so I set them on the back, and all my basils and perilla, they like the sun, but they don't climb, so they stay in the front where they get all the good stuff, all the sun. So my family loves to pick tomatoes. I just like to grow them, but as the plant grows, I would just like thread these through back and forth just to like hang them, and they start to mold and they start to bend and stay in shape with the trellis. But I would go through and picking out the bottom leaves, and to keep the bottom all clean, and all the suckers are on this side shoot here, because right now I only have a few leaves, so I like to let it receive the sun and make the plant grow a little bigger before I start pruning out the bottoms even more. But later in the summer, I will start pruning up the leaves and I'll actually remove a lot of leaves that actually, you know, blocking all the sun from the middle to create airflow. Because when it's too wet inside, it doesn't have airflow, it's created a lot of the environment for a lot of bacteria and virus and the you know, bugs and whatnot to hide in there. So that's only 4 foot. This is the 8 foot long bed, by 8 foot, kind of U shape. And so that's a lot of tomato. I mean, I don't even know how many tomatoes I have. Hold on, let me count. So I pause and count, and I had about 10 vine going up on 4 foot trellis. Some of you gardener probably thinks I'm crazy, but this will create a nice shade for us during the day, you know, sometime for the day. And I also love cucumber. These are Asian cucumber. So you know, not only tomato can grow on the trellis, and you know that anything that big and viney like pumpkins, cucumbers, or loofah, whatever, you know they grow tall, and you wrap them around the round tomato trellis cage, whatever. Give them a nice trellis, and in the summer, I hoping to get all that filled up. The grape's gonna take a while, so that size is gonna be, you know, maybe next year, a year and a half from now. But for now, I give these guys a chance to climb up and give me some fruit throughout the summer. So there, as they start growing some more leaves, I'm gonna continue to pluck them out to give some airflow throughout the growing area. So I think it's a good investment. This year we bought 3. Actually, with this old trellis here, because it's a 8 foot long. So I just kind of tie it to make it into a one piece, so it doesn't shape and bend as smooth as the one that is 16 foot long. And on this side, actually no, I have some more over here. So this side, I've been trying to grow some of those wing beans plants here, and this is a new little bed that I just made just a couple of months ago. And so these guys are not really used to the new soil, and this year I've been struggling trying to start these wing beans plants. And I love wing beans, and they're a climber. So I was initially I wanted all of these to be wing beans, and they grow very big and very fast, and to cover up this afternoon shade where we can be sitting over here and enjoy our enjoy our afternoon. But that didn't work out, so I just quickly put something in here, kind of like transplanting some of these plants over here. But I got some bitter melons, a couple of tomatoes. These are cherry tomatoes, and as my wing beans, 3 of them made it, or maybe that one, I'm not sure if it's gonna make it, but at least 2 to 3 will make it. So hopefully that will give it varieties of climber, and it will give me some shade for the afternoon. So let me go out and show you another trellis that I did. So in this little area here is very wet, and it's far away from the house, so I always hesitated to put the garden out here because I like to just sit in the backyard. Hold on. And enjoy the garden right next to it. I actually sit by my garden and whatnot. But this year I decided to put one out here and save. The reason probably in the future, but right now I just want to save the center for my kids to play. And I put the garden back here. This area is very, very wet when it rains, and it doesn't drain very fast. And so anything that I grow around this area always does not make it. So I give it 1 to 2 tries, and I decided to put a raised bed back here this year. But this is the 3rd trellis. So like I was saying, think of the way that you do your trellis. So I got the sun coming up that way and set this way. So I want a little shade for the guys back here, but I also want some sun. So I didn't want to set the trellis this way. So just think about that. And I have some of the zucchinis and squashes up there to help shade out the afternoon sun to some of these plants. They love the morning sun, but they don't like the heat in the afternoon. So I have some of these Vietnamese coriander back here, the herbs that I use in my salads a lot. And so back here I also have pole beans. These are blue lake pole beans, and they love to climb them, and just give them something, and it's crazy, you can see them just like wiggling around looking for something to grab onto. They just crazy. I don't know how they do that. They have feelings or something. And this guy is a little too big for some of these things back here, so kind of temporary, or maybe just pull them back. I might just prune a little bit over there just to keep the plant grow higher than these squashes before they get shaded out. And I mean, overall it looks pretty good. I got my my neighbor thinks it's nice. Not sure what's wrong with this thing here. It didn't really shape symmetrically, so I'm not sure how that happened, but this thing's very sturdy. I mean, we climbed on it. I climbed on it. I mean, I don't climb on all the way up there, but it can hold a lot of weight. And I mean, it doesn't rust because I think it's called galvanized or something, but this thing can stay out here. I mean, these are made for cattle, so they made these to stay outside with the weather and all. So they do not rust. And all I did was just attach these with some of these conduit brackets like this, and they stay. So back here I was hoping to grow some watermelons, but honestly I think this is my first year, but I think this little square right here in this section, it's a little too shady for the watermelons, and something's been eating them, so I'm not sure what's the deal. So hopefully in the next month I got these guys start to come up and start grabbing onto these, because in the afternoon it can be very hot back here. And these are Malabar spinach, and they're also climbers. So you know, right now they've been toasting, so it's good that they start to get a little bit leafing and spring back up before they need some sun. So that's it, guys. I went a little too far as trellis, but I thought tomato trellis will love this trellis. Tomato will love this trellis. And in the summer, in the next month or two, you will see all of this will vine up and create a very nice plane or a nice wall. If you want to make like a wall, you know, like a screen, quick screen, natural screen that also gives you some food. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.